I thought I came here to become a therapist, not a patient. If it wasn't for Dr. Jennings, I wouldn't be alive today.
Every student in this class has the goal of one day becoming a therapist. A big part of being a therapist is understanding and maintaining proper and appropriate boundaries.
Professor,
Boundaries are a crucial element in the patient-therapist interaction. First, they establish a power inequity and then set the limits for the therapist's expression of power. Second, they set up a framework for a consistent, reliable, knowable frame of a somewhat mysterious process. Now that I've finished, Lisa, what is your question?
Professor, that sounds good in theory, but what happens after you get close to somebody and then they continue to hurt you over and over and over again?
Lisa, I'm not sure we're on the same page here. I'm talking about the relationship between a therapist and her client, not you and your ex.
I remember the day when it was like he could see into my soul. It all began the day he came into my office.
I saw this for you and I had to get it for you to celebrate.
I appreciate the gift, but I have to ask, are you worried about me? What's with the cross?
Let's just say it makes me feel better.
I know you're trying to convert me, but at this time in my life, I really don't need religion holding me back.
I've always used faith as a part of my practice.
Do you think this necklace will stop my depression and clear my mind of suicidal thoughts?
The philosopher Carl Jung said, the word happiness would lose its meaning if it weren't balanced by sadness.
Okay, I get it. So you're saying I should love my sadness and depression?
From the first moment I saw you, I knew you'd be a great asset to the psyche department's research. Your accomplishments guarantee you a spot at the university, if you choose to accept it.
I just hope that I can both teach and have my own private practice like you.
If only your parents were here.
Yeah, but they're not. So I just have to keep going. Someone could look at this picture and never know before or after. But I look at this picture and I see before the accident.
Your parents would be proud.
Did you decide whether or not we're doing a class setting or a private setting for Jude?
I discovered during my research that there'd be some ethical issues with a public setting. Oh, and speaking of private setting, have you let him know that there's no chance of him establishing a romantic relationship with you?
You should know that I don't mix business with pleasure. I finished the first profile, but it's of an abuser, not the victim as you requested.
That is key. Jude's post-traumatic stress disorder is rooted deep in a frequent sexual abuse as a child by his father. You in the role of the victim and him in the role of the abuser should cause his facade to crack.
Do you think Jude will have his breakthrough?
Initially, the scar tissue will be ripped off and the pain will be exposed. Jude's reaction will be acute at first. But let's hope for his sake and the sake of his fiancée and son that Jude takes the first step.
We can only hope.
Why don't you go home and get some sleep? I'll take care of the second profile.
Are you sure?
No, please, go.
Okay. Thanks.
Night.
Night. I don't know why I continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. I feel like I failed Dr. Jennings. I continue to see abusive men and I can't stop myself, but tonight I've got to stop or I'll lose my career. I'm going to tell him tonight.
Is your roommate home?
No. She's gone for the weekend.
Alright, cool.
It's about time. Professor Jennings is catching on. I don't know how much longer I can lie.
What was my deal with my son?
You could have brought him here.
Why do you always have to make this an issue? When I'm with my son, I'm with my son. I'm not with you.
What is this?
What is what?
What are we doing? Is it ever going to be just you and me? I feel like you're playing us both. Does she know that you're here?
Really?
Does she? Because I'm pretty sure that she doesn't.
Well, you tell me, Dr. Dana. What do you expect this to be? As long as I'm your little lab rat, huh? You think that this is easy for me? I'm out of here.
Wait. I'm sorry.
The purpose of this experiment is to study the effect traumatic events have on perception. To my left is Jude Clay, a patient who has agreed to help us in this endeavor. To my right is Dana Lamel, my assistant. Mr. Clay, Ms. Lamel, I prepared fictitious profiles for the both of you. Once you've read those, we'll begin. Ms. Lamel, based off your fictional history of continuous sexual abuse by your father and denial by your mother, tell me what your inner dialogue would be.
I'm worthless. It would be better for everybody if I just killed myself. Not even my own mother believed me. She didn't even care. How can I be a mother? How can I have a family? Who would want me? I'm damaged goods. I'm damaged goods. I'm worthless. It would be better for everybody if I just killed myself. Who would want me? I'm damaged goods. When did you find out?
A couple of months ago, I did a thorough background check on you.
You did a background check
And
on
I
me?
knew I had to make the perfect storm. I had to have you play you, the counselor, who would try and take up for the hurt but fail miserably doing so.
It was my burden. It wasn't anyone else's
The way
burden.
your father violated you was wrong. But what your mother did was even worse.
stop it! Just stop it!
I read your file. You wanted to be a missionary when you were a child. That must have been before the abuse.
You have no right to just barge into my life!
Giving you the cross necklace was key to unlocking your hurt concerning your mother's hypocrisy. Your parents failed you. They made you lose faith, not only in yourself, but in all of us. But faith is not out of the game yet. Your parents chose to do evil. But you can turn what they meant for evil into good by giving your testimony to help other abuse victims.
I can't do that, Professor. I did something.
I know about Jude. He knows about you. But he just took it too far.
That bastard.
Don't blame him, it was my fault.
Maybe this is all my fault.
Why?
I prayed every night for them to die. After the accident, the guilt was overwhelming. If you hadn't come and done this.
One of the devil's biggest tricks is convincing us that he doesn't exist. If I hadn't have done what I did, you'd still be in denial.
I've been fighting by myself for so long. And I've been hiding that fight from the world. Your therapy has changed everything.
It wasn't just therapy. Psychiatry can fight the demons that live in our minds, but it's faith and hope. Those are the weapons that kill them.